On today's Q&A, we're talking about the new mortgage rules. Hey everyone, welcome to today's Q&A. I hope you had a good week. Welcome back. So we're going to talk a little bit about the mortgage rules that are just implemented today. Now, let me preface this by saying I am not a lender. I am no mortgage expert, but I would highly recommend if you are somebody who is thinking about getting a mortgage in the near future that you go and reach out to someone in the lending industry. We've got lots of recommendations. If you need to speak to someone, just let us know. So basically, the government has implemented a new stress test. So there's always been a stress test in place, but now this is a tougher stress test that you need to pass if you're thinking about getting a mortgage. And by the way, this does apply to everybody, no matter what your circumstances are in terms of down payment. So in the past, no matter what the current interest rate is that you're getting, you needed to qualify at 4.79%. In the event that rates go up, the lenders need to make sure that you can afford to pay, so they qualify you at a higher rate. Now, as of today, you will be qualified at 5.25%, so that's a pretty dramatic difference. So in an example here, if you could afford $500,000 last week, this week you can only afford $479,000. So again, this is meant to make sure that in the event that rates go up, you are protected and that we don't end up back into another 2008 mortgage financial crisis. So that's where we're at. And again, it does apply to everybody. Insured or non-insured, whether you have 20% down or not, you need to pass this stress test. So that's it in a nutshell. Be very aware of what's going on. And like I said, if you need to speak to someone and you don't have someone that you recommend or that you go to, we've got lots of people that we can recommend for you. But you want to make sure that you've got these details down pat before you go ahead and start aiming to purchase property. I think, the rule of thumb is that it'll affect probably about 20% of the population in terms of those that are actually going to be dramatically affected by this. People that maybe were struggling as it was to afford a mortgage. Those are the people who are going to be most largely impacted. I mean, for the most part, most of us are not purchasing the most that we can, right? We have some holdback in terms of our purchasing power. So I hope that's been helpful. We are here if you have any questions, just reach out anytime. And we have a great episode on the Toronto Real Estate Show podcast this week talking about the neighborhood of Yonge and Lawrence. So we are spotlighting a couple of different neighborhoods on our podcast. Take a listen, Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever else you get your podcasts. Hope you have a good day and we'll see you next week.